Hi. You know how something happens to you and after some time passes, you can look back on it and be grateful for it? That's how I want to feel about my layoff. But first, let's make a drink.
Talento on the beat.
Here yet, but I got laid off a little over 6 months ago now. And recently I was talking to my wife about it and things related to it. And she said, that's probably the best thing that's happened to you. And I was like, no, I disagree. And that's kind of funny because in the same breath, I was like, I am the happiest I've ever been. And yet, I do not feel like the layoff was the best thing that happened to me. She got me thinking, what would it take for me to feel that way? And can I get there? And I'm at the point where I've grieved the layoff, I've moved forward, but I'm not at the point where I can say that I'm grateful for it. And so I want to spend some time thinking about what that would look like and how I might get there. I spent 10 years in tech, and the job I was laid off from was literally the one I went into grad school saying, when I graduate, I have to be able to work at this place. And so, by all accounts, I accomplished my goal. And yet, it took me a really long time in the last few months to kind of settle into the fact that I had accomplished that goal. And what's really funny is that I started drawing when I got that job because I knew it was going to be stressful. And I wanted to make sure that I had an outlet that was separate from any computer and anything related to like tech or social media or any of that. And so it's funny that this same sort of drawing habit that I knew was supposed to sustain me outside of that job is now the thing that I want to sustain me forevermore if I'm lucky, okay? Um, so yeah, like I had the security, I had the checkbox for the goal, I had all the things that I thought were supposed to be important and make me feel great about myself, and yet it is in this post-layoff phase where I am still unemployed, but at this point choosing to be self-employed, that I am the happiest I've ever been. And yet, I don't feel grateful for the layoff. When the layoff happened, I felt so many things: grief, fear, identity loss, betrayal, literally all of it. But since then, I've been rebuilding my life and my creative life especially, really focused on what my values are and how I want my work to feel. And painting has become the thing that really anchors me and really allows me to sort of like wrestle with the harder parts of my personality, like my impatience and my being prone to anxiety and perfectionism and all of that, and just allow me to focus on what it means to listen to myself and trust my instincts. And that has really helped me get to the happiest place I've ever been. There's no title, there's no salary, and the structure is what I make it, which can vary wildly because I am who I am. And so with all of that, I am incredibly grateful for the space I'm currently in and the fact that I get to experience a different kind of way of doing life that is truly a privilege. I am grateful that I get to experience this happiness and sort of redefine what's possible for myself. In that same conversation with my wife, I told her it's kind of scary that I didn't even know I could be this happy, because what else is there for me that I haven't yet to experience that is better than what I'm currently experiencing? That's how that made me feel. And so you would think with all of that happiness and new levels of joy, I would be like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that the layoff happened. No, I still don't feel that way. And I'm like, maybe I feel like a woman scorned, but honestly, I'm like, no, I'm not grateful, because even though I do deserve this peace and this joy, I did not deserve that. And so, no, I'm like, no, no. But what would get me there? Let's talk about what would get me there. Because that requires me to like do a little inner work, some reflection, and really align with like, or get clear about what separates my current feelings from where I need to be in order to be like, I'm so glad that happened to me. And I want to get there. I want to be glad it happened to me. And I am excited to do the work internally and externally, like painting and making things, in order to really get to a place where I'm like, wow, I have landed at a much better version of myself that is beyond my wildest dreams. And that is when I think I'll feel it. So I have to prove to myself that this version of myself and my life can be exactly what I imagined it could be, and I can thrive, not just survive. And maybe redefine what thriving versus surviving actually looks like, because in this phase, it's not going to look how it's always looked. But that's the point, because it also doesn't feel how it's always felt. And this feeling is one that is so much better for me. And I want to get to a place where I can just accept that and not be so kind of upset about the differences in this life versus the previous one, or this era and creative journey versus other creative journeys I've been on. Editing Datrianna here, and I just want to say that I don't know if I got to a crisp enough definition of like what would make me feel like it was the best thing that happened to me, but my therapist made me like go through this list of values and identify my top 15 and then my top 6, and looking at them, all but one of them has been sort of nurtured in this current phase that I'm in, and the one that's kind of left is the success. And I know that I need to redefine what success looks like, but it's also about me accepting that success matters to me, achievement matters to me. And then I was questioning like, well, why do I care about achieving anything? And it is really about proving to myself that I can be great at what I want to be great at. And also what's really important to me is making sure that my work makes it into the spaces that I want it to be in, so that I can engage with the people about the things that are important to me, and hopefully they're important to those people as well, and like find my people through my art. And then second to that is also wanting to talk about my art and the things that fuel my creativity and the things that are important to me. And my art is meant to be a conversation starter, and so I would think I will feel like grateful for it when I have reached success in what I want from my art journey, and know who my people are that love what it is that I have to say about the world through my art, and have opportunities to connect with them that are new and different and a vibe, because honestly, I'm really here for the vibes. So yeah, that I hope clarifies something that wasn't so clear to me when I initially recorded the video. And as I tried to sit my grief and other feelings that I was sitting in to the side, I was like, girl, I think you just wanted to rant. But now that I got that out, I have a little more clarity. And so I think naming the steps that will get me there, and knowing when, like having a way to acknowledge when I've arrived at the place I'm trying to be, will help me be able to acknowledge that. And then hopefully come back and tell y'all that I did it. So yeah. And I think the way I get there, the way I become grateful for it, is by turning it into something that is uniquely mine and uniquely beautiful. So y'all, this is my new chapter. I'm going to make my layoff the best thing that ever happened to me. And if you've ever experienced something that kind of like broke your identity or how you saw the world, please sound off in the comments with your insights and anything you think I'm missing or that might be helpful. But overall, it's like maybe this is just a reminder that it's just okay to sit in the feelings that you have and not always be grateful for the current circumstances, but knowing that you can grow into it and then control what you can control to turn it into what you want it to be, and really just owning our power. That is what I want to do. I want to own my power. And in this moment, I have the power to make that layoff the best thing that's ever happened to me. So I'm going to keep sharing my journey along the way. And I hope y'all stick around for the wins, the fails, and all the other things. That's all for now. Bye.